Hello, everyone. I'm Denise Boggs, and I want to welcome you as we journey together through healing the heart. I hope that you've been reflecting on the scriptures that I shared with you last time. And of course, I started out with Ephesians 1, that in His love He chose you. In His love, He chose you. Okay? And the love of God is like a river. It never stops. It's always flowing. And it says in Ezekiel 47, the river of God flows from His throne. And some places, the river's only ankle deep. It's very shallow. And so I want to talk about that today. And I want to talk about the fact that when I was reading that everywhere the river flows, there's healing. But I had to realize, oh my goodness, I grew up in very shallow. The river of God wasn't there. It was just shallow. It was just like a creek, very shallow, ankle deep, only if we'd been to church. But if we didn't go to church on Sunday, then, oh boy, Monday morning is a mess. Everybody's yelling. And so in my own home, growing up, I had to go back in time and see that the love of God was not represented very well. It was just very shallow. Okay? And that was hard to face, but when you face that pain and that reality, then you know what you've got to work on, okay? Then you know. And I reflect a lot on my father because I want to tell you this. It is your earthly father that awakens your spirit to life, wakens you to life. Your mother is the nurturing one, is the nurturer. But your father is the one that awakens you, and it's through his affirmation that awakens you to life. Now, so many people that come to our Healing the Heart retreats, the majority are dealing with father issues. Why? Because their father was either wounded himself, not there, preoccupied, unavailable emotionally, disconnected. Maybe he was harsh. Maybe he's angry because of his own pain. So many issues that he did not even know how to awaken his children to who they were. He couldn't see who they were because he didn't know who he is. My daddy didn't know who he was. He really didn't. He didn't know how to awaken me. He didn't know how to affirm and embrace me. Now listen, this is going to be hard to hear, but I want you to hear it because I want you to feel it. Listen, pain has to be touched to be healed. So I'm going to, my desire is to touch your pain to help you heal from it. Okay, now listen to this. This is in Colossians, and it's chapter 3. Fathers, do not provoke or exasperate your children to wrath, okay? It goes on to say from the Amplified, don't put demands on them, humiliating them or abusing them, okay? And then it says this, so that they will not lose heart and become discouraged and unmotivated. Did you know that if your father was not there in your life affirming you, showing how much he loves, accepts you for who you are, if he wasn't affirming that daily, that's a daily need, then you begin as a child to lose heart. You begin to become discouraged because you're not having that daily awakening of your spirit by your father's affirmation. So you become discouraged, lose heart, feeling like you're a nobody, Nobody cares. Nobody knows who I am. You even start trying to perform, maybe through sports, going to school, academically, trying to get better grades, start competing, trying to find some place where you can be affirmed for who you are. But see, with a father that does not know how to affirm his children, he's not even aware of what's happening to them, and then his correction becomes harsh. Rules without love and relationship, it creates rebellion and performance. Some of you may have done that. You may have just rebelled. I'm out of here. I can't take this. I'm out of here. I'm not going to listen to him. So the pain of the lack of affirmation in childhood, Paul says it very clear here. You lose heart, you become discouraged, unmotivated. And it may not show up until you're in your adult years. Because as a child, when you're not being affirmed by your father, there's other places to go. Okay, I'll go to grandpa. I'll go to my teacher. I'll go to my coach, my friends. You become teenagers. So you start trying to find this affirmation and acceptance in all these different places, but still, you're not hearing it from the source. You're not hearing it from your father. It's your father that awakens your spirit. He's the one you're needing to hear. Good job, son. Good job. Hey, I'm so proud of you. I love you, son. That's what you were needing to hear. But if you didn't hear it, all these other voices are not really going to awaken your spirit. Okay? It's your Heavenly Father then that you have to hear His voice, and know He's the one that chose you. He's proud of you. He brought you to the earth, but you've got to heal from the lack of your earthly father's voice. You've got to heal from it in order to be able to hear clearly your Heavenly Father. And you might say, well, how do I heal? How do I heal? I'm going to walk you through that healing process in the next podcast, but I want you to do some work. Okay? I want you to do some work. I want you to recognize, have I lost heart? Okay? You know what losing heart means? I shut my heart down. Lost hope. I just shut down. I don't care. The I don't care attitude in any area of life shows you lose heart, okay? Or did you become discouraged? Okay? Discouragement is another indication. Did you start something and then shut down? Lost courage, lost strength, lost motivation, just shut down. Or unmotivated. Did you not have the motivation that you're needing today in a certain area? Are you floundering in an area? Are you feeling like things aren't going to work out even in the marriage? I can't do it anymore. I can't do this anymore. Or in pursuing a career path, are you just like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Are you unmotivated in an area of your life? That can go all the way back and be rooted in the pain of your earthly father, because you're not able to carry the purpose and plan of God forth because you're still wounded and hurting and have pain from the lack of hearing your earthly father's affirmation. And so then, the last thing in this verse, and this is verse 21 of Colossians 3, it says, with their spirits broken. A broken spirit. In other words, Jesus said He came to heal the broken heart. But you may not have ever considered your spirit can be broken, just shut down. You even began to just lose hope on who you felt like God called you to be, but it broke your spirit when you didn't get that daily affirmation of who God says you are, but it didn't come through your earthly father. You have to understand, you can't put your healing in the hands of the one that hurt you. So don't take me wrong and think you're going to go and tell your father that he broke your spirit. No, that's not what healing's all about. That's not what it's about. You got to get your healing. Don't put your healing in the hands of the one that hurt you. Yes, your earthly father hurt you, but it's not his responsibility to heal you. Okay? So I want you to study through. I want you to process. When I say process, there's several ways to process pain, but you got to process it. Healing is a journey. It's a process. Either talk it out with someone that can understand it because they've gone through it themselves and work through healing. Talk about it with someone releasing it, or journal. David was the best journaling. He was a journaler. He processed pain. Psalms 55, my goodness, that is the best processing. He even says in Psalms 55, he says, my heart is so pained in me. I'm in pain. So process it. Write it down like David did. Write through it. Just say, okay, I'm realizing now I'm disheartened. I'm discouraged. I'm unmotivated, Lord. I'm seeing it now. My spirit's broken. I don't even have motivation anymore. Lord, help me. But journal through it. Work through it. And the next podcast, I'm going to talk to you more on how to process the pain. God bless you.